Melissa, hey, congratulations on participating in an episode of Gordon Ramsay Uncharted.
Thank you. Very exciting.
Hey, so tell me, what was your reaction when you got that call to participate in this program?
Well, of course, at first I was a little bit nervous. He has his reputation precedes him, but excited at the same time and honored to be part of it.
That is most excellent. For those people who don't know Melissa Kelly here, could you tell us about yourself, your specialty, your restaurant, and why did they consider you a local food legend?
Well, okay, so the name of my restaurant, I'm the chef and the owner of Primo restaurant, which I opened 22 years ago in Rockland, Maine. And my focus, we have a restaurant that sits on a small farm. We have about 5 acres, and I have chickens and pigs and bees and greenhouses. And I like to run the restaurant like a full circle kitchen. Everything gets composted, and we feed our scraps to the animals. We actually have a producer's license, so we slaughter chickens on property every Saturday. We collect eggs every morning. We harvest honey from the beehives. We raise our pigs primarily for charcuterie. We raise 12 pigs each season. We just actually got our pigs yesterday, which is pretty exciting. And we raise them for 7 months, and then we slaughter them and we break them down to make prosciuttos and culatello and pancetta and all kinds of delicious pâtés and charcuterie. But the restaurant supports lots of local businesses and small farms in the area as well. So being here 22 years ago, I think there wasn't a lot of that going on. And the whole farm to table movement was the way I grew up. So it was very natural for me, and part of the reason why I moved to Maine. Maine has one of the largest organic farmers and gardeners association in the whole country, and that was very appealing to me. And I also wanted to be on the coast so we could get great seafood. So it's worked out, I would say, at this point.
That totally explains why Gordon Ramsay wanted you on this show, because this is a farm to table, and you probably made Gordon Ramsay go out there somehow and find these ingredients, right?
We did. I mean, Maine is bountiful. We have the mountains and the sea. We have great fishermen and sea products that are right here locally. We live right on the coast. And then we have all the beautiful stuff, wild food, blueberries and mushrooms, and we're tapping maple trees in the springtime. So there's a plethora of great food, and his show, the premise of his show, Uncharted, to go to an area and like discover it and find the bounty. I think Maine was a great place to pick.
Well, thank you for explaining to us about Maine, because for some of us, the only thing that comes to our minds is probably chowder and lobster, and that's probably the two things out there.
Well, that's big here too.
So tell us about the dishes that Gordon Ramsay, or you challenged Gordon Ramsay to be served on
well, it was we went for seaweed harvesting. I took him out and we harvested different kinds of seaweed. So in our dishes, we were trying to incorporate some seaweed. So Gordon did an oyster dish with like a seaweed mignonette, and I did we had local bluefin tuna at the time, so I did a tuna BLT, but we were cooking at a lighthouse, like in the middle of a field on a wood-fired grill. So I found some rocks in the edge of the ocean, and we threw them in the coals and heated them, and I seared the fish on that. So we had fun with it. It was kind of like camp cooking.
I'm curious. Do you cook often on heated rocks on your meat, or is this something new for you too?
That was kind of new for me in the moment. I have cooked on salt blocks and things like that in the past, but it was just kind of a fun way to play around out there.
That is terrific. I can't wait to check out that episode. Now, what was it like meeting Gordon Ramsay for the first time, or have you met Gordon Ramsay before?
I had never met him before. I had been to his restaurant, one of his restaurants in London, and read his books. I've been a big fan to actually before he was very well known, when he was actually, putting out these really great cookbooks. I was following him when I was young in my career. And when he started doing like Hell's Kitchen and those shows where he was kind of scary. So I was a little bit nervous, but after I met him, we hit it off immediately. And he's a very passionate person about food, about life. He's got a lot of energy. And so do I. So we kind of went head to head.
It is always funny to watch these shows, and then you realize that he's not as intimidating as he is on his other shows. This is probably one of the series that actually put him down to earth in his own way.
Yeah. Everyone's commented to me when they heard that I was doing that, like, "Oh, aren't you nervous? Aren't you scared?" And I really, after meeting him, I wasn't. It was just kind of like making a new friend.
Excellent. For yourself, was this your first time on, sort of like on television cooking? Because before this, I was just watching your video on how to sear a halibut, and I'm going to have to try that out.
I actually, years ago, I was on Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations, which was great, and we got to spend some time with him as well. Another great experience for me. But I've done Martha Stewart's show and a couple other television shows, but this was different because we were like out there foraging, and we went out on a boat, and I made him jump in the water, and then we did the cooking element of it. So it was a little bit different, but I have done some of this in the past.
Did you feel like being a little bit competitive, or do you feel like you're just cooking along for the ultimate meal to sit down with him?
No, I wanted to beat him.
Overall, how do you feel against Chef Ramsay?
Well, he's super talented, so it was a good fight. But I think we both put out really nice food, so I think we called it a draw.
That is terrific. Of course, he's very experienced with so many dishes around the world and such. Was there anything that you probably learned from him?
What I loved about working next to him was his calm demeanor, and he was so confident in, like you said, he's cooked dishes from all around the world, and he went forward with a good, strong plan, and he was funny and improvising along the way, and I just really loved his personality.
That is great. I think people are going to love the episode. Especially learning more about Maine and the food in that area. But before I let you go with one last question, obviously the world has gone a little bit bonkers in the past, 13 to 15 months, and restaurants, had, a lot of restaurants have, its ups and downs during this past year. How did you cope and manage to survive during all these months during the past year?
Yeah, 2020 was quite the roller coaster ride. We reinvented, my restaurant is a seasonal restaurant, so we close actually in the winter, but we ended up actually opening earlier last year in the springtime just to do takeout for our local community. So we started with that, and then we were mandated to be closed until June. And then when they opened up, we were allowed to open for 50%. So we did open early July, and we stayed open for, I think, until November, and then we decided to close again. It was, a lot of emotions dealing with staff and customers and how people were reacting. Everyone kind of handled it differently, and trying to have a balance and be safe and follow all the protocols and the rules. And the rules were changing basically daily. So it was a lot of managing and juggling and swapping things around and counseling all kinds of my staff. But we did get through it, thank goodness, and really happy that 2021 is here and now we're open 100%. With the pandemic, I opened up a new outdoor dining space on my property, which we're calling 0 km, which is 0 kilometers, and it's been fun. So it's kind of actually pushed us and forced us into being more creative and finding new ways to bring food to the guests who want to sit outside or still maybe don't feel so comfortable. So we made lemonade out of lemons.
Well, that is terrific to hear. Well, congratulations on being part of Gordon Ramsay Uncharted. Congratulations for 22 years, obviously. Hopefully you'll stick around for another 22 years. And
I hope so.
when travel starts to open, I'm definitely going to have to stop by your restaurant.
We look forward to seeing you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Hey, next time. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.